I made it smaller and it's bigger. Oh, I don't know. Is it big now? Maybe it's normal. Is the camera normal? Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, no. The resolution is normal. Okay, resolution is normal. All right. Got that. And there. All righty. And then Substack. Oops. Oh, shit. Substack did it to me again. Substack is tricking me. Substack is tricking me. All right. So you guys have to help me again. Somebody's got to go on Substack and see if I'm live there, because it's doing that thing where it's making me think I have to create a new feed, but I think I'm live already. I possibly can find my webpage. Oh, there it is. I am live. I knew it. Hang on. I think I can go here and watch. I think. Come on. There it is. No, that's not it. Where the hell? Where is this frickin' thing? That's yesterday's. Oh, shit. Am I live on Substack or not? Somebody has to tell me. I'm not succeeding here. I don't think I am live on Substack, am I? Anybody? I'm not going to continue the show until somebody tells me. It's doing that again where it's making me think it's not I am live on Substack. See? Son of a bitch. Thank you. It's doing it again where it's claiming to me that I'm not live. And I'm like, okay, there we go. Thank you. It's clearly there is a glitch with Substack, and I wish they would fix it, because the fact that this happens to me all the time means it's reproducible. Hello, I see you now, Substack. That's very, very weird. All right. And of course, I hadn't even set up TikTok yet. Hang on here. All right, let me get TikTok set up now. Anyway. All right, thanks, Amanda. Although I don't think I can grab I can probably copy the link there. All right, thanks, Danielle. Yeah, it's like I said, it doesn't always tell me when I'm live, and it really drives me a little bonkers. All right, let's try that. All right, I'm getting TikTok set up here. I think we're good. Oh, sorry, I ran to see the reflecting pool today at the Lincoln Memorial and to go by the Kennedy Center, so it cut into my afternoon, so I got back here a little late. So I did prepare a show, but still, I've been like rushed for a few hours because normally I have more time, and all of a sudden, the time got ahead of me, and I was like, ah. So, I mean, we're fine. It's just I worry whether there's like any stories I missed or something. You know what I mean? When things go this quickly, so you never know. All right, I'm ready to go live on TikTok. Here we go. TikTok, go live. There we go. All righty. One sec here. TikTok. There we go. All right. Woo-woo. Oops. I knocked TikTok over. Hey, Andre. All right. Welcome, everybody. We're good now. All right. Copacetic. Everything's happy. We're live now. There we go. All right. As I said, I was telling everybody else, TikTok, I was at the Kennedy Center earlier today to go check on, and the Lincoln Memorial to go check on the reflecting pool. I had an interesting update about that, but it cut a couple hours out of my day. So I'm like, trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Yeah, the liner was very interesting. Dave was just saying, I posted, I went over to the Kennedy Center today, like I said, and posted some video. Did it sync? It did sync. Good. Some video of the line. Actually, I can show you my video because it kind of shows all of it. And it was very interesting. Oops, where's my? Did I cancel? Oh, of course, I already deleted my video because I'm a goofball. Actually, this is the video I just did. Here's the video I just did, and I was trying to what I'm trying to figure out. Well, here, I'll even play it. Pool. I'm trying to figure out
what was this guy doing today at the Lincoln Memorial?
What this guy was doing at the memorial. This is my video.
I was at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool today, and this guy with a service called leak detection was doing something in the surface. Now, the weird thing is, it almost looked like he was stapling, except that the device in his hand looked like a drill. Where you see me zoom into the camera.
It's like
he kept going really quickly, like boom, 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 into a new area. Now, could he be drilling holes? Could he be sealing the sealant somehow, like drilling it in place? It's really strange. Now, I'd be curious from your expertise.
I was trying to ask people on TikTok to like brainstorm a bit.
Samples that they want to test to sort of see what went wrong?
But it's weird. It looks like a nail gun or a drill. But
right? Is he sealing it?
But
Except
also,
it's so quick. I'm hard to believe it's a sealant, because that's why I was thinking.
And look at the flap in front of him.
Boom, boom. He's going in there. It's as if he's affixing something. Then again, the biggest flaps that are next to him, he's not trying to get.
Yeah,
those
he
guys
wasn't trying to
nailed
get the
down.
big flaps
So
down.
what's this guy doing? Jump in the comments. Tell me what you guys think based on your expertise.
You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't jumping in. It wasn't like it. The big flaps he wasn't trying to nail down, which is the weird part. Now, again, I only got actually, this is a pretty good, hold on. Actually, that's a very good pick. I could zoom in. I didn't even realize that's a very good pick. That's my zoom of the guy with my good camera I was telling you about. Anybody who knows tools? TikTok's live, Jeannie. I'm literally on TikTok right now with a couple hundred people. It's not loading for you, unfortunately. TikTok's on, guys. I'm already on with people. But you see what it looks like about somebody who knows tools. What is this? It looks like a drill of some kind. I mean, again, it only, the closer you get to it, the less focus, because it really looks like a drill. Look at that top part too, the front part, it's very weird. A heat gun. Well, the thing is, what's weird too is why he's got that huge flap next to him that he's not drilling, but he is drilling here. Why? Right? Why would he be sealing something if he wasn't sealing the huge flap next to him? That's the thing I don't get. Now, he could be using the drill to drill something in, like to drill a nail in. You use a drill to help force the nail, like he's screwing something down. Exactly. A glue gun. Other people said glue gun. But again, kind of weird, because like you're using a glue gun, but you're using it next to like he's several feet away from a huge flap. It definitely looks like a drill, but I don't understand. And the thing too, like I said, was I'll show you guys again. He's kind of going like, it's kind of like boom, boom, boom.
Except that the device
here, check out the. Now I'm moving. There's nothing I can do because I'm super zoomed in. I mean, I was just to like show you guys, if I can show you, where's I want to see if I've got the initial picture of him. I don't have the original stuff I took was video. I was trying to get my original video. Oh, maybe do I have my original? Yeah. I mean, this is like to give you a sense, right? That's where the guy was. I was here and I was zooming from here. This is where I was. The guy is all the way over here. So that gives you a sense of my camera, but it also gives you a sense of why it's only so clear, because I was literally that far away. Now, yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same video. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what this guy was doing. I just do not understand what he was doing. I don't see any other pictures of that's the drill on the ground. Yeah, I mean, this is like the drill on the ground over here. But again, it's hard to tell what, the coloring, I don't know, orange and whatever, right? But it definitely looks like a drill. The question is, what would he be doing with a drill? That's what I'm not understanding. And the company is called Leak Detection. So not entirely clear what a leak detection company was doing. It's got to be a drill, but what was he doing with it? Paula, impact driver, they're much larger and more powerful than that. Drilling round hole into stone to stop crack from spreading? Oh, maybe. I mean, well, keep in mind too, his company is called Leak Detection. That's the name of the company, right? This was his vehicle. And you may not be able to tell. You could probably just tell. It says Leak Detection on the back. That's the company. So he's some water leak detector guy, but he seemed to be drilling with some 12-volt tool. Exactly, Mustard. It looked like it looks like a drill. I mean, right? I finally sort of thought of putting up, which I did right before I came on the show. That's also why I was like last minute. I decided to put a video up asking people like you guys, like say, okay, somebody who really knows power drills and not the power of construction, what kind of stuff could you be doing with that? It's very weird. I like I said, I don't know. Drainage holes, kind of weird. He seemed to be doing like 4. I got the sense he was going 1, 2, 3, 4, almost in a square. Maybe putting sensors or something. I don't know. But it almost seemed like 4. And honestly, it did seem like he was drilling because he kind of went like this and then went to the next one. And then the next one took a little bit longer. But it seemed exactly what Robert said. It seemed very quick. I'm not sure what to ask Google, though. The only thing to ask Google, I mean, my nephew asked Claude, but or Google is AI, but the AI, postulated it didn't know for sure. Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, the other thing too is he going to be able to find those holes? That's weird too, right? I mean, thank you, Lady Bond. That's true. I could put the picture in AI. I didn't think of that. That's true. I didn't grab a screenshot of the Zoom, but I don't know if AI could figure that out. That's the thing is it could have initially. I was convinced it was stapling because it was but stapling, but with a drill. So like using it to insert a screw or something. But again, it didn't quite make sense because later on in the video, you see the huge flap is in front of him flapping. So he's not trying to get the flaps the scooter was how he got around. The drains in the bottom. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to drain. That's the whole idea. Hey, Misha. I don't think it's supposed to drain. It could be moisture sensing. And again, keep in mind, he's with a company called Drill. What do we call it? Leak Detection is the name of the company. Well, part of the problem again is for the lawyers that are defending the guys that they're going after, this guy's he's drilling or something. It sure looked like he was changing the surface. That's what it looked like. It really looked like he was changing the surface, Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. And that's a problem in terms of the defense, Yeah, well, the thing that's weird though, guys, is it could have been like the heated tip. The problem is he's got this stuff flapping significantly near him. So why would he be trying? Let me pull it up again. I'll pull up my longer video of the guy. Where is he? Where's my earlier video of him? I think it's this. I don't know which one's which here. Let me see. Nope, not this one. All right. I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, this way here. This is one where you come and you got him. Actually, look at this one more closely. I'll go back to the beginning again. Actually, hold on. Let's do this. I'm going to zoom in, but just from the beginning. And okay, now this is going to zoom in fast, but just to give you a sense of what he may or may not be doing. Okay, sorry, that was too fast. All right, too fast. 1 sec. Let's do it again. Sorry. It's pretty fast, though. See, he does each one, and then you start to lose it. He does each one, and he's done. That's the thing. Look at how quickly that went. Actually, that was actually illustrative. Down 1, lifts 2, lifts 3. 3 took a while, and he's done, and he walks away. Okay, there. Yeah, did you see how quickly that was? That's what I mean. That was a very quick. Whatever the hell he was doing. It was very quick. I'm grabbing this to save it. That's what I was telling you. It's like boom, boom. He is using a scooter because it's huge. He was using the scooter to get around. It was kind of funny. It was a smart idea. It could have been a moisture meter, moisture sensing, possibly. Yeah. Oh, an e-scooter. That is funny, actually. Yeah, it was smart. He was using the scooter because it is a huge area. I know we're spending all this time doing it, but I mean, I'm very interested, obviously, because the lawyers are going to be interested to know what this guy was doing. Yeah. And again, just like Ty said, it could be prep for something later too. Now, the other thing, I couldn't ask him. He was too far away. Oh, I mean, like I said, I don't know that you can appreciate how far away this guy was from me. I told you I got the original photo. I will show you again the original photo. I was, where is this? Yeah. This is before I zoomed in. This was the shot before I zoomed in. I'm on the steps near the Lincoln Memorial, looking down the mall. The Washington Monument is over here. Okay. I want to show you where he is. That's our guy. Okay. That's our guy. This is where I was. That's why there's no way to ask him. And I mean, my camera's pretty impressive. I mean, it was able to do a pretty, I mean, my camera's a great zoom, but it can only do, see, that gives you a sense of where I was. Now, when I zoomed in here, it makes it out of focus. So I had to stop and zoom out again, because the one problem this camera has is the zoom is fixed. So if you start to zoom in, you better be focused on the exact focus you want when you start to zoom in. I know I need to find like a scooter, a pool. They might have been higher resolution because I was using this camera. Yeah. It's very interesting. Actually, I haven't looked at them to sort of try to discern the quality versus previously. That's interesting. But yeah, I was using my like I said, my good zoom today. Very interesting though. I want to know what he was doing. So anyway, very weird stuff. The vehicles were on the pool. Oh yeah. Actually, that's a good point too. And again, they have no problem driving vehicles on this thing. No, the vehicles were on the pool. It was no biggie. There were three cars. That was just one of them, but there were three like SUV type cars on the pool. That was one. With the flap coming up. But there were three. One was his, that's the other one. And then one was his, which was the actual van, the minivan kind of thing. That's another video. But you can see the car there next to him. But there were three because he drove his car, but there were two white cars there as well. Now, I don't know if the white cars were National Guard. It could have been National Guard because the National Guard tends to drive cars like that. So it could have been them as well. They ferry them around in these small white trucks. So it kind of makes me wonder if that was National Guard. It might have been. I don't know. So I don't know, guys. Very weird stuff here. I mean, very interesting. I find it fascinating, of course, trying to figure out what they're doing. Oh, here you go, actually. Here. In this video that I did, you can see. So you see there's the two white trucks and then his truck, which is the blue one. So, but they drove them right onto the pool. They don't care. I mean, they don't freaking care. It's like, oh, well, just drive onto the reflecting pool. Nobody cares. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, God only knows what it is. Anyway, all right, let's move on with the news here. But very strange stuff. I know. I want to know what he was, and the lawyers are going to want to know what he was doing. So that's half the fun, is trying to figure out on that front as well. Anyway, I will say it was blue today. With the sun shining on it, it definitely looked more blue. Now, the blue, there were many shades of blue, which is really weird. I mean, very weird, the blue with this. And again, I don't know well enough. No, in the photo, it looks kind of gray. Good photo I took, though. But my photo makes it look, I'm going to see if I can adjust this a little, but no, my photo makes it look kind of gray. It was hard to fly. In the actual, this was peeking through the fence because the tarp has rips in it all over the place, so you can easily just look there and see. It actually was quite blue when you looked at it for real. So, you know, oh, the flaps. I mean, the flaps are like crazy. I mean, there's flaps everywhere, you know? Yeah, this was, and then I sort of just did this was, actually, I did get a picture of him on his scooter. This was just the zoom. I just thought it was a nice picture, but the picture of him with the Congress in the background and the flag and the World War II memorial, but you can see he's on his little scooter moving further back, which was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. As always, guys, we don't quite know what happened here or what was going on, but it's very weird. He must have been with somebody else too, because I've got another picture here where one of his vehicles was gone. Yeah, I don't think the National Guard guys are here though. I don't know who's here. So just looking really quick. Yeah. Anyway, very weird. And I love how all the tourists want to watch. So like it was so many tourists going up to the tarp and trying to photo and video. It's hilarious. I mean, they've turned this into a tourist attraction, the disaster, which is why Trump was putting up tarp and stuff because it was pissing people off. But I mean, you had people all over the place filming this guy. It's very funny. What else? That's about it for that. And Kennedy Center, of course, the tarp is still up. Big surprise. They're still hiding it. No movement on that front. Trump did. I didn't even realize this. Oh, thank you for the gift there. Who's that? Sadie. Thank you. Keep the gifts coming, guys. I do this for a living. I appreciate your gifts. The Kennedy Center did have, Trump took his case, via the Kennedy Center board, which is his board. They took it to the DC Court of Appeals, the appellate court, to try to force them to put Trump's name back on, because they're claiming, and I love this, they're claiming the Kennedy Center will suffer irreparable harm if Donald Trump's name is not put back on immediately. The donors are very angry and they won't donate if it's not Donald Trump. And the appellate court went, yeah, no. So that was 2 weeks ago, but that's kind of the latest on where that stands. I wouldn't be surprised, James, if they don't. I do wonder. I think at some point they're going to try to stop people from. I'm sure they've already thought of stopping people from photographing, but how do you do that? You can't stop people. This isn't the Soviet Union. They do that. So they do that in Turkey too, in Cyprus. They did it in the Soviet Union. They would tell you there were certain things you couldn't take pictures of. Like in the Soviet Union, you don't take pictures of government buildings. Things like that. We were like, all right, all right. They're finally opening the bridge, the new bridge between Michigan and Canada. Oh, that's good. At least that's good. Anyway. So let's talk about Iran. Iran is threatening to kill U.S. service members and more. Basically, let's jump to that second. All right, we're still doing Iran, but the first Iran news I was going to talk about, Iran news, was New York Times did a follow-up story that's going to piss off Trump. So New York Times did the original story that determined that Trump was sending back he went back on Air Force One. He took Air Force One. He took the new Air Force One, the one that's a bribe from Qatar, and he flew it to Turkey for the NATO summit. And then there was some threat from Iran, and he had to take the old real Air Force One back because the new one wasn't safe enough, and we knew it wasn't safe enough. He's an idiot. Well, Trump denied it. No, I sent it back because I wanted to let the troops see it. You're such a liar. Well, then he sicks the Justice Department after the New York Times, and they subpoena the phone records of the New York Times to see who lit. Mind you, he says it's a lie. New York Times lied. There was no threat from Iran. It wasn't that the plane wasn't safe. And then subpoenaed the phone records of the New York Times to find out who leaked the fact that the plane wasn't safe, and that's in fact why he didn't use it. And we're like, well, but how do you subpoena phone records for something you say doesn't exist? You said the New York Times lied, that there was no threat. So if there was no threat and the New York Times lied, then clearly nobody leaked it because you can't leak a lie. So you don't get a subpoena to investigate the leak of a lie because it's not classified information. You can always leak a lie, right? Well, New York Times confirmed today, which is going to piss them off. Thank you, Heather, that in fact, there was a threat from Iran via one of its proxies, which makes you think maybe Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hard to know, but probably Hezbollah. It doesn't have too many proxies left, especially if you're near Turkey. And that basically, that there was a threat and the Secret Service was not comfortable using the new Air Force One. They didn't think it was safe enough compared to the old one. Again, brainiac that he is, made them use the new Air Force One even though it wasn't ready yet. Thank you, Cricket. I mean, again, you know what? Don't let me get in your way. But I mean, like, but you're a moron. I mean, you're just a moron if you do that. That's just dumb. But what do you do? So the Iran overall, New York Times. Listen to this. Oh my God. American intelligence agencies believe that Iran's new supreme leader, thank you, Addie, Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei, is far more interested than his father and predecessor in pursuing a nuclear weapon, according to officials briefed on the assessment. So we killed the Ayatollah and remember regime change. Remember Trump goes, oh, we got regime change. We got people that are much better. They want to negotiate with us. Much better regime, nicer people. The nicer people we've got are more hell bent on getting a nuclear weapon than the old guy. The son, because we killed his father. The son, the new Ayatollah, way more interested in getting a nuke than the old guy. We literally did regime change. By the way, I told you this. If anybody who watches the show regularly knows, I talk about, my background in foreign policy. I did a master's in foreign service at Georgetown. I've also made a lot of work too since then in foreign policy. But one of the things they taught us at Georgetown was, and it sounds kind of funny, but it's true. If you're going to try to overthrow a government, thank you, Jeannie, you need to know who's coming next, right? You don't try to overthrow a government if you don't have a very good sense of who's coming next. Because the problem is you don't want somebody worse, right? That's the problem. You don't want somebody worse. And in this case, we didn't know who the hell we were getting next. And the guy we got was actually worse, right? He's not willing. Thank you, Jeannie. He's not willing to negotiate. The old guys, we had a good deal under Obama. They were willing to negotiate. He's not willing to negotiate. And he's more interested in getting a nuclear weapon than the guy we killed. Oh, well. No, I mean, again, this is not rocket science. This is foreign policy 101. It's also defense 101. They overlap in this case, right? You don't take out foreign leaders if you don't know. Well, it's exactly Dawn said, the devil you know versus the devil you don't. That's exactly right. I should have used that expression. It's a great expression. The devil you know versus the devil you don't is exactly that point, which is even if the current person is bad, if you don't know who's coming next, it might be smarter to stick with who you've got unless you've got a sense of who's coming next. If you know, it's a very small chance that it'll be a bad person next, 90% chance it's somebody good, then go for it. I mean, go for it if you think it's wise to overthrow foreign leaders. That's up to you. But you don't do it when you go, it's a crapshoot, which is pretty much what we did. Yeah. Or the Shah, anything. I mean, again, this is there's a lot of reasons why you may or may not be supportive of overthrowing governments, but this is one of them. Knocking my little thing for my microphone off. What else do we have here? The Ayatollah did, listen to this, New York Times, as tensions between Iran and the U.S. escalate, the head of Iran's top operational military command, which coordinates the regular armed forces and the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, warned of Iranian reprisals for the deaths of citizens. In a statement carried by Iran, who commands the blah, 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 whatever it is, said, for every Iranian citizen killed, one American service member will be sent to hell. Again, it doesn't sound like they're in the mood to negotiate. It sounds like they're, oh, thank you. Is that Tarad? Or is that, oh, that was Tarad. Thank you, Tarad, for the Stingray, right? I mean, I do not think Trump ever has a plan. No, Floyd. Well, look, Trump's problem is, I think Trump probably has a plan sometimes when he does stuff. The problem is Trump's plans are, thank you, Jackie, the latest blonde woman to watch into his office with a bust. And he went, ooh, and then that's what stuck in his head. They often say with Trump, the last person to speak to him is the one he listens to. So, and he's a moron. So I'm sure he may have plans. Thank you, Cricket, but he's a moron. I mean, so like he's an egotist. He's a moron. He's a narcissist. So he also thinks I get away with everything. Everything I do works. It'll be fine. And you just killed 18 U.S. service members and got us into a war that cost us $100 billion. And we have no idea how to get out of it now. Speaking of which, Honey, I Shrunk the Service members. Trump, we found out yesterday, decided to erase the deaths of 4 of the service members from the Pentagon website. Used to be 18 service members killed in the Iran war, our war with Iran. Now it's only 14. And they asked Pentagon officials, like, is there some reason it's 14 instead of 18? Because we had 4 more killed last weekend, remember? 2 were killed directly. A third, I'm trying to remember, the third was a different attack with Iran, of course. And the 4th was, I believe, the service member who was trying to defuse an Iranian drone, and it blew up and killed the service member. Guess what the Pentagon officials told the paper about why the Pentagon website used to list 18 service members killed, and now it says 14. Because Donald Trump declared a ceasefire. Donald Trump said a deal was done and we had a ceasefire and the war was over. If we've got a ceasefire and the war is over, then you can't add new deaths to the war count. So they initially added the 4 U.S. service members killed in action and then removed their names from the Pentagon website. They literally buried the dead. No, I mean, this is, again, imagine if a Democratic president did this, right? That you literally erased 4 of our brave war dead. I mean, right? But I love that too. I just love the explanation that oh no, Trump says we reached a ceasefire. The war is over. Remember? Because he kept saying, oh no, it's over. It's over. So if we add the 4, and this is again where he's such a narcissist. If we add the 4 deaths, and even worse, because again, guys, they took the 4 deaths off. It means somebody saw it and freaked out. It could have been Trump himself. Hey, Helen, somebody saw it and freaked out and either said, oh my God, Trump's going to flip, or Trump and the White House flipped when they saw the number jump to 18. No, this is who these guys are. It's sick. It's absolutely sick. Measles cases have hit record levels across the U.S. as vaccinations wane, according to the New York Times. Another big article out today, Trump killed 8 billion. This is a horrific story. Typical, but horrific. Trump killed $8 billion in energy projects, in new energy projects. All of them going to Democrat, all of them but one going to Democratic states. So last year, Trump's trying to kill projects left and right, and they love killing energy projects because clean energy is such a bad thing, right? Renewable energy, oh my God, right? Well, there were 600 energy projects that one of the agencies, probably Department of Energy, discovered and said, these are 600 very bad projects because they're woke energy projects, right? And they were projects in Republican and Democratic states or Democratic districts. Trump killed 283 or 284 of the projects. 284, I got the number, 284 of the projects. 283 of the projects were in parts of the country that voted for Kamala Harris. One of the projects was in an area that voted for Trump. One voted for Trump, 283 voted for Kamala Harris. There were 600 total. The rest of the projects up to 600, okay? The rest of the projects up to 600 were Republican projects. That's it. Republican projects. It gets better. The Trump people had to go to court. And when they go to court, they've got to be careful about lying, right? Because if they lie to the judge, they're in real trouble, right? Well, they go to court, the lawyers from the administration, and they explain the reason they only killed the projects. Well, 283 projects in Democratic areas, one project in a Republican area gets killed. The reason why so many of the projects were killed in Democratic areas? No, they didn't. Because again, in court, they've got to be careful because they'll go to jail or they'll lose their law license. They said it's because those regions voted for Kamala Harris. They told the court why. Lawyers with Trump's administration told the court that Trump killed $8 billion in energy projects simply because those areas voted for Kamala Harris, so he decided to kill their projects. This stuff is sick, folks. I mean, we don't do this in America. We certainly, politically, you do not do this. Republicans have never done this before. Democrats have never done this before. I mean, in memory of mine going back 40 years in this town, neither Republicans nor Democrats, neither does this. Donald Trump is the only one to have done this. I don't know if this is illegal. I mean, guys, we cannot let them get away with this. I mean, if we've got to get to the point where the next time a Democrat gets elected and we just kill $8 billion worth of projects in Republican states to make it even. And we tell people and say, I'm really sorry, but because you know why? He stole $8 billion of our tax money. This is our tax money. He's taking our tax money from all of us, and he's only giving it to Republicans. He's literally stealing the tax money. At the very least, the next Republican president should make the tally and say, this is how much money Donald Trump stole from Democrats, that he gave this much to Republicans and didn't give to Democrats. We're going to even it out. In this case, for example, $8 billion more dollars are now going for energy projects to Democrats until we get even again. But you've got to hold these guys accountable. I mean, it's sick. It's absolutely sick. And again, Democrats are not in power. So it's like they can't stop him without going to court. And you go to court, and they are going to court, but what do you do? If the judge isn't willing to stop. Also, it depends legally. Oh, God, I forgot about this. The article said Congress is Republican. That's where the hell Congress is. The House and the Senate are run by Republicans. They're okay with this. I mean, that's where Congress is. The minority in Congress doesn't really have power. Yeah. Trump is changing the rules. I forgot about that was in the story too. Trump is changing the rules to make it easier for him to do this. So he can go through the entire budget and just kill projects that are for Democratic states or Democratic areas of the country. Across the board. Everything. No, this stuff, and Democrats, I think, are afraid it'll impact us in the elections. I think Democrats need to let Republicans know and say, quite literally, any of this you do, we are doing to you. And if you can survive 4 years without your district getting any money, okay. Without your state getting any money, okay. But we are going to do the exact same thing to you that you did to us, and we're going to blame Donald Trump. And literally say, I'm really sorry, Texas. Donald Trump set up the policy. Donald Trump said we're not allowed to give you money because we have to do it based on how you vote. Trump said that's how we have to do it. And literally say, it's not my decision. Donald Trump made the decision. If you have a problem, talk to him. But because Trump did this, he screwed up the budget. We're going to straighten it out again. Thank you, Cricket. We're going to straighten it out again. And once the budget gets even again, then we'll go back to normal. They will never do it. No. Any choice of a goat, Cricket? You get your choice of goat. Exactly. Thank you, Ash and Blue. Oh man, it's very upsetting. Obviously, all of this is very upsetting. Democrats probably will not do that. Yes. By verify, what I meant was that basically you've got to do a numbers analysis, and the amount of money that Trump is stealing from Democrats right now and only giving to Republicans, you say, okay, that's how much money we're going to give to Democrats next time. So next time, if the budget was normally this, Democrats get this much more when we come back to power to make up for the fact that Trump has cut this much money for Democrats, right? The budget more or less is even. I mean, it's not. More money goes to Republican states because they're poorer. Always the case. Democrats are more tax money comes from Democratic states. More tax money goes to Republican states. It's just the way it is. But nonetheless, let's pretend it's equal. What Trump is saying is, oh no, Democratic states get less. Okay, the next time Democratic states have to get this much more, so it breaks even. Let's do a Halloween goat. That's always our favorite. And since we're talking about Trump being, awful, it's always good with a Halloween goat thing. Oop. Ah! There we go. Anyway, we'll continue with the news. Few things I forgot about. We have the coffee talk tomorrow, remember? Every Saturday morning, I do a hangout for the paid monthly subscribers. That's the super fans on TikTok. That's members, they might call them, I think, on YouTube, Substack, and Discord. You guys know who you are. But anybody who's a monthly subscriber, join us tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Let me keep going here. Laura Loomer. Let me do a little bit of Ukraine news. So Laura Loomer interviewed Zelensky. It was good. She did a good interview. There were a couple nice clips. I think I grabbed some of them, but she's been posting them on Twitter and other social media. It's good. Like she's doing it. No, Zelensky, Zelensky's funny. Zelensky needs to be a little there was one example where I don't know if I can find this because I've got too much stuff in my notes here, but there was one example where, oh God, can I find this? Let me see. I don't know if I've got this handy, where she's asking him about Trump being a great president. Am I going to find this? I don't know. Wait, I think it's further down here. It is further down here. Hold on. Let me see. Oop. He kind of made a couple comments, and I was like, oh, God, please don't do that because Trump's going to freak out. But she asked him, who do you think is the best American president? And I'm going to find this. I remember it enough that I can tell you, but who is the best president of the United States? Zelensky, Lincoln, Loomer. President Trump is going to watch this interview. Zelensky, Trump is good, strong leader. He's the best or not, of course, history will answer. And you're like, okay, that was a good answer. Shut up. No. Sometimes we live and we don't know. Sometimes we have monuments for somebody and then we understand that it was not a great person. So he means sometimes we live and we don't know that someone's a great leader until they're gone. Other times we build monuments to them and later on we realize they're really not good. And you're like, again, he wasn't actually trying to refer to Trump, but clearly it sounds like Trump. We build monuments to somebody and we realize they weren't really that good. That's total Trump. What he meant was you can never tell in advance. Of course, even that's a bad answer. I think it was a bad answer, actually. I think his answer should have stopped with, oh, Trump is good, strong leader. It's up to history and the American people to tell. It was lost in translation. It was not a good answer. Now, he tried to do it in English. It almost makes me think these interviews shouldn't be in English because my guess is he probably would have been stronger in Ukrainian, right? He might have said, first of all, even saying that, he might have said, it's a really difficult thing to say historically. When you look at leaders, and you could say my country, any country, you see people that you didn't expect. And in history, looking back at them, you realize they were the greatest of leaders. But at the time, you didn't recognize them. You see leaders that you thought were the best. And then historically, you look back and they weren't as great. That sounds much better than the way he says Trump, and then immediately says, you get it. Yeah. Anyway, LeBron going to Philly, you jest with me, Nolan. I am so not a sports guy. I did see the story. I've heard of LeBron James, but that's about it. But I did see the story, but I am the wrong guy to ask about that. That's for sure. History will decide if LeBron James going to Philly is a good decision or not. I'll give the Zelensky answer. Sometimes we think it's a good decision and it's not. Other times we don't. And later on, we look back and say, good decision. So the Zelensky answer. Yeah, LeBron is good and strong player. All right. Anyway, very funny. But they did a good interview. By the way, Trump, she had tweeted something. Laura Loomer, right? Again, big Trumper, etc. She tweeted something about her interviews with Zelensky, and Trump retweeted it with a positive comment, which means Trump himself saw her, not only saw her tweet about Zelensky, not only approved of her tweet about Zelensky, Trump is still reading Laura Loomer's tweets. That's my point there, right? She's still close to him. I mean, she's very close to him, but she's still close to him. That he's still reading her stuff and he's retweeting it approvingly, which you only do with people you like, especially with somebody like him. So that was she's, Tim Pool, by the way, I think Tim Pool was being an ass. Tim Pool made a positive comment about Ukraine, but people thought he was being sarcastic. He then made a follow-on comment about Israel and Ukraine. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not. I think he might be. Just made a LeBron statue. I had written back to two people I know and asked them, and one was Ukrainian, one was another observer, and I asked him and said, was he? Let me see here. No. They didn't get back to me, boys. How do you not get back to me? I don't think so. No. Yeah, they didn't get back to me. I don't know. Weird. And then I had a little interchange with Merriam-Webster online. Merriam-Webster said, which I thought this was crazy, that the expression bucket list was created in 2007 when the movie The Bucket List came out. And I wrote them back and said, come on, there's no way that expression didn't exist before 2007. They were like, mm-mm. And I Googled, I looked at the New York Times records. The references in the New York Times start in 2007, 2008. There's no reference previously. Merriam-Webster, the dictionary on Twitter, yeah. I have a very hard time believing the expression started in 2008. Because I said, get out of here. And they went, what do you mean? And I said, no, I'm just flabbergasted. And I told them, I said, I actually went and researched and couldn't find any reference before 2007, 2008. And they were like, I mean, kick the bucket. Yeah. But bucket list? I mean, I'm convinced I grew up with that expression. There's no way it's only like 17 years old or whatever. Mandela effect. I don't know what the Mandela effect is. Crazy. I mean, crazy. Maybe it's true. It's weird. It doesn't, I mean, like, I'm convinced. I've never heard of the movie. I'm convinced it existed before. But I couldn't find, I looked online. Like I said, even going through the New York Times old archives. Manda, the question is where you got that from. Google is an AI. My AI came up with a couple fake explanations as well. You know what I mean? If the source, you've got it, what's the source? Again, you can't trust the AI. Yeah, no, Google's AI is claiming it came from a screenwriter in 1999. Maybe, but I wouldn't trust the AI from Google. No. Yeah, kick the bucket's a totally different thing. Not a different thing, but it's a different expression. Yeah. Any case, very weird stuff. I never heard of the movie though. Yeah, like I said. What else we got here? Yeah, that's my only thing is I don't. Google will give you the initial AI thing, which I don't trust. You know, I mean, I could ask Claude too. I asked ChatGPT. It claimed it couldn't find anything. Read the movie. Yeah, but don't trust AI. It doesn't matter what an AI says. I mean, you can look at the AI, but you've got to find an original reference. It doesn't matter if Google's AI claims it. As we've learned, something I already looked at, my AI claimed something different. That's my point. It's not. I don't think I've got Claude on this computer. I don't. I was going to look at it just to see what you wanted to do is come up with proof. That's what I want. I mean, not just claim it, but like, how do I know that's true? Yeah, Trump, that was a good one. Trump came up with, oh God, no. Oh no, there's a ball coming at me again. Oh God. Oh, it already went away. Sorry, Cricket, didn't see that one. I asked Boyfriend earlier. I want to ask Claude and see what Claude comes up with really quick. Oh God, come on. Continue with Google. Let's ask Claude really quick. Did I save the goal? Oh, was I trying to stop the goal? Or was I trying to cause the goal? See, I don't understand quite. So maybe I did get it to work. Okay, that was a very confusing gift. Let's ask Claude again just for fun. All right. Hang on here. Okay. Am I actually chatting with you or just giving you text? No, I'm not chatting. Hold on. Oops. Okay, Claude, are we chatting with each other now?
Hey, John. Yeah, we're live. What's on your mind?
So here's my question for you. Merriam-Webster's Twitter account today claimed that the expression bucket list, my bucket list, the things I want to do before I die, came from a 2007 movie called The Bucket List. I thought that sounded surprising because to me, I want to think that I remember that expression going earlier. Google's AI is claiming it's from some guy in 1999 who might even be the guy who wrote the movie The Bucket List 10 years later, whatever it was. Can you do a kind of a deep search and find out and prove to me when it was first used that we know? It is English.
Ooh, good rabbit hole. Let me dig into this properly. Okay, so here's what the record actually shows. The phrase in this exact sense, a list of things you want to do before you die, does trace back to screenwriter Justin Zaykam, who in the late 90s wrote himself something called Justin's List of Things to Do Before I Kick the Bucket. That personal list is what he later turned into the 2007 film. Before that, though, bucket list as a term did pop up, occasionally, but mostly in totally unrelated contexts like computer programming jargon, not the before I die meaning. There's also a 2004 book that used the phrase almost in the modern sense, but it wasn't widely read. So most etymologists don't credit it as the true origin. So the honest answer is that the concept and phrasing came from Zackham around 1999.
Wait. Did this Zach guy use it in 1999 somewhere that other people... First of all, I'm not seeing an example of him using it. I saw you tell me he wants to create a list before he kicks the bucket. That is not a bucket list. That is a list before I create a bucket.
Fair catch. You're right to push back. The original title in 99 was literally the long version, List of Things to Do Before I Kick the Bucket, which is not yet the phrase. According to multiple sources, including his own Wikipedia page, he later shortened that to Justin's Bucket List, and that's the actual coinage moment. But nobody seems to pin down exactly when he shortened it, whether that was still in 99 or years later closer to writing the script.
Okay, so that's the issue then. So we don't know when it was widely used. And you said somebody else used it correctly, but it wasn't published widely. So you're not crediting it to that guy, 2004 or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's the real state of it. There's that 2004 book by Patrick Carlyle that used bucket list in basically the modern sense 3 years before the movie. But it was such an obscure book that nobody thinks it actually influenced the culture or the film. So etymologists don't call it the true origin. They just call it an earlier isolated sighting, kind of like a coincidence rather than the source everyone copied from.
So Merriam-Webster could be correct that the widespread use of the word is attributed to the 2007 movie because it wasn't culturally big until then.
Yeah, that's the fair way to put it. The concept and the exact short phrase existed before, sitting privately in Zackham's own list in that one obscure book. But as a term everyone actually knew and used, it really did explode into the language because of the movie in 2007. So Merriam-Webster crediting the movie for popularizing it isn't wrong. It's just a different claim than saying the phrase was invented in 2007.
Huh. That's crazy. That blows my mind. But yeah, do you see? Okay. By the way, that was another AI lesson, right? He didn't use it in 1999. I mean, he didn't use it in 1999. I mean, this is where Google, the AI was wrong. Claude was wrong. Actually, Google was wrong too, because you found it on Google. He did not use it in 1999, right? He created a list that you should do before you kick the bucket, right? And only a couple of years later, he went, bucket list. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, the voice is interesting because it's British, but it's kind of a little different. You, Paul, or any of the Brits out there, it's different British. I don't know if it's a little less educated or if it's from somewhere else, but to me, it was, I don't know. It was it sounded British to me, but it sounded, like I said, like almost not educated, lesser educated or something else. I don't know what that accent. It was a little different. Nice accent, but Midlands. Okay. I don't know what any of that means. But you thought that was Oxford? See, that's what I mean. To me, it did not sound like Rhythm just said posh, not posh. To me, it didn't sound posh. It sounded a little more educated, normal person, British, rather than educated and you tried to adopt an Oxford accent or a Cambridge accent or a London accent, like an educated London accent, whatever that would be, right? Maybe it is Northern England. Yeah, it just sounded, I don't know my English accents. It just sounded different. It's a nice accent, actually. It's a very nice accent. But American, well, did it not sound like real British accent? Did it sound, to a Brit, did that sound fake? Slightly West Midlands. But does it sound like a fake accent to a Brit or not? Or does that sound like a real British accent to you guys? Because remember how my chat GPT British accent you guys thought was fake. Oh, Jason says not real. Jason Michael. Oh, interesting. So you guys find it fake. That's funny. That's funny. Computer British. Yeah, see, because we can't tell. Although it's funny, Susan thought it was Australian. Although I do have that problem too. I hear British accents or Australian accents, New Zealand, they confuse, even South African, they get a little jumbled sometimes. And I've always apologizing to people from those countries that I'm like, look, I speak lots of languages. I've been around the world, but the Anglophone accents, we can tell British, but then the other ones start to get confusing. Sometimes they're obvious for me. Sometimes I hear Australian and go, or even South African. South African, I usually can think through because South African, I hear and I go, it sounds British, but I said, one guy I met actually, I was on a plane to Indonesia and I said, your English is fluent, but it's native fluent, but it's wrong. Your accent's wrong. And I said, it's almost German. And I said, oh, you're South African. And he said, yes. I said, that's it. Because it was just a slight German accent to perfect English was wrong, L'accent belge que je cherchais. Ah, de l'autre mec. Okay, maybe that's why then. Yeah. I love the accent because at least it's a little more nasal, which I find it a very pretty, we're talking about the French guy that I follow on, or Belgian guy probably that I follow online, who does these little language classes. And I find his accent very pretty, which I like. But we were trying to figure it out. And maybe it is Belgian where it's, Nicolas was saying it's Belgian where it's a little more nasal, écran. Like he said, écran. I would say an écran. I can't remember. See, now he fucked me up. I can't remember my accent anymore. Écran. I think I would say écran, but maybe it's écran. I can't remember. Anyway, French, very confusing. Anyway, yes, I do talk about Ukraine. We were talking about Ukraine when we got on a side topic. We were talking about Laura Loomer, her interviews with Zelensky and how that went really well, actually. So we were definitely talking about that. Also, Ukraine, ho, 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 to do a French accent, ho, ho, ho. Ukraine overnight blew up Russia's Amazon again, Russia's largest online retailer, akin to Amazon, and hit it again. They're saying this photo was incredible. I think the photo's real. It looks fake, but judging by some other stuff, I think the photo's real. This is St. Petersburg, where Putin's from. Uh-oh. They keep hitting the largest warehouses for this company, okay? Now, here's I mean, this is the video of the fire. Look at this freaking fire. I mean, actually, you can see some of the stuff at the bottom, like, oops, to see the size of it. I mean, that's an insane, see, you can see the other one fire is nearby. That's an insane freaking fire. I could broadcast on Twitter. I don't know. I could, John, actually. I've got the ability to. I kind of always forget to do. I used to do that years ago. Years ago, I included, if I remember to, I can try to set it up later because I do it via StreamYard. I could probably broadcast. I used to broadcast to Twitter too, and I forgot. I should do that, actually. You're right about actually, that's a good point, though. I should do it. I totally forgot about it. I used to do it years ago and then stopped because there weren't many people watching and whatever, but I can try it again. This is another video. This might be one Zelensky put out, I think. I think this is the one that Zelensky put out about the fires. Yeah, this is the one Zelensky put, because you can see what looks like a nuclear plant nearby, actually. Drone coming in. No, they've caused $3 billion in damage. What is really interesting is this company, look at how large the smoke is when you look at how small the cars and stuff are. I mean, it's a huge fire. What's really interesting is this Wildberries, it's called. It's Russia's largest online retailer. What's very cool is cool. Hey, see with the two fires side by side. You saw in that picture right there. What is amazing about this is the Russians, this company Wildberries, apparently rents out or whatever space in their warehouse. So people that are selling, I think it's kind of like an eBay, but you seem to use their warehouse, and people, small businesses, use it to sell stuff, and they keep stuff in the, actually, you know what? Maybe Amazon does it this way. I don't know. Maybe when you buy from Amazon and it's like a you buy it from this company, but it's sold by Amazon or shipped by Amazon. Maybe the company is keeping the goods at Amazon. Maybe that's how it works. But all I know is in Russia, up to 1 million small businesses store their products at these Wildberries warehouses, and the Ukrainians are destroying them. 1 million Russian small businesses. That's a lot of people to be harmed by this. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And the Ukrainians are saying, dual use. The Russians are getting a lot of their equipment for their military via this company. So, all the goods are sent to Amazon warehouses and Amazon delivery directly from there. Okay. So it is. So basically stuff that you buy that's shipped by Amazon or whatever they call it, right? Delivered by Amazon, whatever they call it. It's because the company is storing their goods at Amazon and somehow they're paying somehow they're sharing that profit or whatever. Okay. Right. Or fulfilled by Amazon. That's what they say. Right. Right. Amazon fulfilled. I know I try to buy from Amazon because if it's just fulfilled by Amazon, you can get into the refund issue, can get a little tricky there. But yeah, so 1 million Russian small businesses are using this Wildberries company to house their products, and they've been losing the products. And we talked about this the other day about Wildberries saying that they weren't going to reimburse the small businesses because they were calling this force majeure, which is basically act of God. Like it's a war. It's not our fault. We can't predict, and we can't stop a company or a country, another country from bombing our plant. Oh, well. Rich says these companies sell things on consignment. Wildberries and Amazon don't actually own most of the stuff they sell, but get a cut of the sales. Okay. A big cut. Okay. Now, does Amazon own it though when it says fulfilled by Amazon and when both things say Amazon? I always think that means Amazon owns it at this point. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you see fulfilled by Amazon, but it's actually another company listed below. But sometimes it's Amazon, which makes no sense because Amazon isn't making the stuff. I've always been kind of curious about that. I've never really known how an Amazon works in that way. Oh, I've had refund issues. It's very rare, but you can buy something on Amazon that all of a sudden isn't refundable. B, isn't refundable to Amazon. It has to be returned to the third party. I had one thing I bought. It's only happened to me once, but it happened in the last year where they required me. I had to pay for my return. And I was like, excuse me? And they made me pay at the UPS to actually ship my product back to Amazon. That pissed me off. I mean, that really pissed me off. So it's, oh shit. Well, verifying again. Relax, TikTok. There you go. All right. TikTok's verifying I'm a real person again. Oh, TikTok, you and your real people. What else have I got? Russian F-16 shot down a suspected Romanian F-16 shot down a suspected Russian drone that entered its territory. Maddie, obviously I selected the right return. I'm not an idiot. It was literally my local UPS that I've been using for 16 years to return things to Amazon. This time, there was no option. This time, you could only go to Staples if you wanted to read. I remember it was Staples. You could return for free at Staples. Obviously, Whole Foods. There's no Whole Foods near me, or Staples. But UPS, you had to pay if you wanted to use UPS. Well, there's nothing else near me. A UPS is the only thing near me. I don't go anywhere else, and I don't have a car. So I had to pay like $8 to use UPS. And I was like, son of a bitch, that pissed me off. But I've never seen that before, that literally UPS was a price and the only free thing offered was Staples and Whole Foods. But they only changed once. It was one product a year ago. It was crazy. I actually should have called them and asked them. It was damn Putin. Exactly. Putin did it. Finally, oh, this is hilarious. Via Preston Stewart. This is very funny. I may even do a video about this one. This was a Russian military recruitment ad. Let me pull this up because it's hilarious. And it's a Russian ad recruiting for drone operators. Here it is. Okay. It's a Russian ad recruiting for drone operators. And they've got the English version. And I don't know if they posted an English version or what it was. But the thing, he said, first of all, it's a shitload of money. It's like I think a $90,000 signing bonus. Hang on a second. $90,000 signing bonus. This is Russia, where they make 20% of the income we make. Okay. $90,000 signing bonus and a $4,200 monthly salary. Again, for Russia, $4,200 a month is huge. The ad, 1-year contract, drone operator, no transfer to infantry. Because the Russians keep tricking people to work for them, and then they kidnap them and send them to the front and they get killed. And they do this all the time. So 1-year contract, drone operator, no transfer to infantry. A new drone unit is recruiting. Official replacement for mandatory military service with a professional contract. So you can do this instead of your mandatory military service. Terms and guarantees, payments starting from blah, blah, blah. Monthly allowance, this amount. 100% job guarantee. The position is strictly defined as FPV drone operator. You will not become an assault trooper. There are no such positions available. But and I mean, everybody was laughing, going, yeah, you will not become an assault trooper. Don't even think about it. And you're like, well, I'm thinking about it now. Right? I mean, like, what the hell? Yeah. Champion S goes, what's $40,000? What's $40,000 broken down to 30 minutes? Exactly. If I only survive for 30 minutes, how much of the $90,000 do I get? We could ask ChatGPT that one. Oh my God, that makes me laugh. But I love that. You will not be sent to the front. Don't worry. What is $90,000 a year broken down to 30 minutes? So 30 minutes of a $90,000 a year job, how much money would that be?
Let's break it down. If you're earning $90K a year, that's roughly $43.27 an hour, assuming a standard 40-hour work week and 52 weeks in a year. Now, half an hour is half of that hourly rate. So for 30 minutes, you'd be making about $21.63.
There you go. If that's correct, that sounds a little low, but maybe it's $40 an hour, 90,000 a year. That sounds like quite a lot. Maybe it is. I guess if you're, anyway, yes, $21.63. Ooh, fancy. It's like fancy. I love that though. You will not be set to the front. But everybody was just laughing about it and being like, yeah, sure. Sure, you won't be sent to the front, but I love it. Just the fact that they have to say it means everybody's thinking of it, of course. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. Anyway. Let me see here. Yeah, maybe. I'll have to check that out. What the hell is that? Oh, that's right. I forgot I've got an allergy appointment next week. 627. All right. I always forget about that. All right. Anyway, just confirming my appointment. All right. 11 a.m. Okay, that works. All right. Anyway. Insult troopers. I do love that, though. You will not be set to the front. Don't worry. It's all good. So, bad omen. What does that mean? Oh, thank you. I'm like, okay, bad omen's a subscriber, so I'm guessing it's a compliment. Thank you. It's being very wiry right now. It's still in that short phase where it's not curly yet, and it's just like spiky. But then it gets longer, and it's kind of I like it longer and curlier, but it's a pain in the ass when it gets longer. So it's that weird in between, Anyway, well, we're at 7:15, guys. I'm going to wrap it up shortly, I think. So remember, tomorrow we've got our coffee talk for all the monthly subscribers, all the SNN folks on TikTok, the super fans, all the rest of you members, YouTube, everybody else, Substack, Discord. Ari says hi to everybody. Excellent. Oh, that's interesting, Luis. Oh, that's interesting. I can instruct Alexa to assume 1 degree unless you specify. Can you actually? Is that true? Yeah, if somebody wants to get Adult Slime a gift membership, it's like a 1-month membership, but it's still nice. On TikTok, up to you if anybody wants to do that. But Adult Slime is a regular. I know the name. But 416 for what, Floyd? What do you mean? Oh, excuse me. Oh, I think Marcia just did. Did Marcia just do it? Oh, they can't be targeted anymore? Get out. Oh, that sucks. Really? Sometimes it forgets. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that sucks if you can't target the gifts anymore on TikTok. That's not very nice. Huh. Wow. Oh, you mean it's only 416 on the West Coast? I wasn't sure what you meant by that. Okay. So TikTok picks based on engagement. I mean, that's nice, but it was kind of nice having people where we were able to do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's too bad. This was kind of a nice way of, I liked having people be able to sort of ask for them because people were usually people were always nice enough to offer up, which was nice. Oh, that's too bad. That's stupid. Well, no, Floyd, you were right. I just saw 416, but we were talking about prices of things, and I'm thinking, is that $4.16? Except I'm an idiot too, because that's clearly a time, right? 4:16 is a time. So I was being dumb as well. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to get going here. Good seeing everybody. Thank you for joining us. Again, tomorrow morning, I'll see all the monthly subscribers, so join us. And otherwise, I will see you all on Monday. All right. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Discord, itchy nose. All right, bye, Discord. Have a good night. Oh, I was going to tell you the last little thing. That Trader Joe's fucking Dessert is terrible. Who among you told me that Trader Joe's cheesecake was good? It's not good. It is flavorless and sweet. I am so pissed about that thing. And then to put the lemon curd on it, the lemon curd is pure sugar. I made it last night and thought I was going to die. I had so much sugar. I love sugar. I was like, sugar. So I'm a little pissed about that. I'm going to have to get, oh no, don't buy that. You shouldn't have bought it on my recommendation. I have not had it yet. I think it's bland and sweet. The texture is correct, but it has no flavor and it's too sweet. Now, if you make a fruit, like a coulis or a fruit sauce with no sugar, that will help a lot. I like put it in my freezer, but honestly, I'm a bit pissed off. I may give it to my neighbor because I am not a fan of eating calories that unnecessary calories. When I say unnecessary, I mean I like desserts, but a dessert better be good for me to eat it, right? I do not like eating like cheesecake that's super fattening. Why eat something super fattening if it's just okay, right? I want something super fattening to be worth the fact that it's super fattening. Nope, my neighbor loves this shit though. He loves this crap. That's why I'm giving it to him. I've had other stuffs that was way too sweet, and I was like, okay, look, I've got something. It's very good, but it's way too sweet. I don't know if you'd like it. And he goes, I love sweet. He goes, nothing's too sweet for you. I said, he goes, nothing's too sweet for you. I said, then you will probably love this because it's delicious. And this cheesecake's the same thing. It's good. I think I've got too discerning of a palate. So I've got to decide. I'm not convinced about that. I've got some fruit that I can, tomorrow, maybe I'll melt a little fruit. I don't know. Basically I want to make my own. I want to make my own at this point because I'm a little annoyed, but I just don't, it was okay. I ate it today. It was okay. But I see cheesecake doesn't have to have a biscuit base. One of the best bases you can make is graham crackers. For example, it's just graham cracker, butter, cinnamon, maybe a little salt. That's it. You can also make any kind of cookie you like. So you could pick a biscuit that you like Oreos or whatever else you want. Or you could even put a regular crust on a cheesecake if you wanted to. Wouldn't be bad, but graham crackers really are the best for cheesecake. It's a great compliment, Anyway, you're a fan. It might've been you, WC. No, the funny part was I tasted it. I was like, this isn't that good. So then I went to ChatGPT and I said, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I said, but it's, okay, then I won't, that's okay. Adult slime. I'll look on Facebook. Yeah. But I go on ChatGPT and I said, okay, I just bought a Trader Joe's cheesecake. Tell me what the reviews of it are online, good or bad. Because I was like, because ChatGPT, it tries to make you happy. And it said, surprisingly for Trader Joe's, the reviews are actually not that good. And I'm like, it said, most of the reviews say that the cheesecake is kind of bland and too sweet. And I was like, yes. It also said that a lot of people think it's rubbery. I don't think that's true. I think it tasted correct. And the lemon curd, it's pure sugar. I had it this morning on a biscuit, what we call a biscuit. You might consider it kind of like a scone. It was okay on that because the biscuit isn't sweet, but on a sweet meal, oh my God. So I'm not sure what to do with that now. The lemon curd is delicious, but it's too sweet. So the same problem, you could never put it on a cheesecake. It's got to be on something not sweet at all. And I have nothing to put it on. So I'm kind of annoyed because I may freeze it. It's kind of like cryogenics. I think I'm going to freeze the lemon curd until I can figure out what to do with the lemon curd because it's really good, but it's way too sweet. So until I figure out what to do with it, I'm going to put it on ice so it doesn't go bad. Like I said, like cryogenics when you freeze the head, use the lemon curd to make lemon chicken, but it's sugary. It's sugary. Plain yogurt. Oh, that's an idea. Okay. That's not you know what? I may try that. I have some, because I eat plain yogurt. I have plain Greek yogurt. That's a good idea. Lemon tea, that's not a terrible idea either. You're right. Use it in tea as the sweetener as well. Yeah. Yep. Graham crackers are what we use. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Lemon chicken, thin it with a little water. That's funny. I would be afraid of the sweetness. I will put a little bit in yogurt. That's not a bad idea because I'll eat plain yogurt, but yogurt's always nice with a little sugar in it. And this, the question is whether this adds. Well, let's try it and see. We'll see. Anyway, what do you do? Greek lemon chicken recipe? Not really. Well, it's not entirely true. Well, I'd have to look at my recipes because I did find a very good Greek lemon chicken is an art, not a science. It's very hard to make correctly. Meaning even my mom, she'd make it and a lot of times it tasted like chicken. You know what I mean? The lemon didn't come through. It's very hard to get the lemon to like infuse in the chicken. And one of the things I found a recipe for making like Greek meatballs with the potatoes, and I've switched it with the chicken, and actually it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I've got to see it here. Again, it's probably going to be too long of a recipe. But it was good because the recipe basically was the secret for making Greek potatoes. I don't think I'm going to, let me see. Is this the, oh, this is that one I did. This is a different one I would make with canned tomatoes that actually was pretty good. I would kind of put Yukon Gold potatoes, a can of diced tomatoes, a big can, 15 ounces, garlic, lemon, bouillon, oregano, and like potatoes on the bottom and chicken on top, and just let it cook for however long you need to let it cook. 350 for an hour or something. And the potatoes like absorbs the juice, but it's kind of like lemon and it adds a really nice the tomato adds a really nice flavor. But that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is, here it is, the Greek meatballs and potatoes in the oven. This is the one. Yeah, I made these just as potatoes too, which is very good. He has like a Greek meatball recipe. Oh, it's too hard to show you because I got it off of TikTok. So I've got the actual recipe on 3 screens from the guy on 3 screens, but it turned out, I may see if I can have AI or I can grab the recipe and copy it. But he did it with meatballs and I did it with potatoes for the chicken. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm looking here. I did these as potatoes alone. Took too long on their own to finally drink up all the juices. For the meatball recipe, it was very good with the meatballs. Oh, I made the chicken pieces, just drench them and the potatoes in the mixture, lay them on the potatoes. When they're ready, remove the chicken and let the potato. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Basically, it's a very good recipe, but again, it's a little too much here. You basically, well, you know what? I can show you, well, where is this? I can show you his screen grab. Nah, you know what? We'll do it another day. It's too hard. But anyway, I can show you that another day. But I think it's the best recipe I found for how to make the potatoes. Because the chicken is still questionable whether the chicken's going to be infused enough, right? You can look for him, but the problem is his is Greek meatballs and potatoes. His secret is, it's the real Greek chef, but I don't know what his handle is. I don't have his handle here, which isn't going to help you either. We can do this another day. Again, this isn't chicken. This is Greek meatballs, but it's very good because the potatoes cook perfectly. So these potatoes literally are Greek potatoes where they just soak up the lemon and the bouillon, and these potatoes turn into something else entirely. Oh my God. I'm salivating here. Oh my God. Whereas the chicken, it's difficult to get the chicken to absorb the lemon, the lemon flavors. I find that's the problem. Where basically I would say you braise the potatoes in butter and chicken stock. You don't just braise them. You you keep cooking until the potatoes have absorbed the liquid, basically, till the liquid's boiled off and what's left is just a little moisture on the bottom. And then you scrape it, and with the moisture, but the moisture is just goo at this way, but it's chicken potato lemon bouillon goo with oregano and salt. And oh my God, I mean, so good. Exactly. When it gets kind of crusty, and oh my God, I mean, to die for, absolutely to die for. So yes, good Greek, but the Greek chicken, boy, very hard to get the chicken to actually turn into something. Now, what you can do is, if you get enough of the scrapings on the bottom, you can try to put those on top of the chicken, and then the chicken's great. But you need that bottom scraping stuff that's like distilled lemon and chicken to go on the chicken to be much better. The real Greek chef, is that okay? Yeah, look, it's a good recipe. This one is Greek, I think, meatballs and potatoes. It's keftedes, but it's probably calls it meatballs and Greek potatoes. And it's a good recipe. But as I said, the recipe is for trying to see. I mean, I can show you the 3 recipes. I'll just show you the recipes. I mean, I will. You can screen cap if you want. This is page 1. There's going to be a 2 and a 3. All right, this is page 1. Grab it now because I don't want to do this again. All right, this is page. Oh no, that's not page 1. I'm being stupid already. That's page 3. This is page 1. Sorry. This is page 1. All right. Meatballs in the oven, lemon potatoes, ingredients for the meatballs. All right. That's page 1. So grab it. All right. I'll show you guys in a second if you care. Well, here, I'll show you now too. So page, oops. Hold on. I can't see my screen. Hold on. All right. That's page 1. For actually, both of you can see page 1 a little bit this way. All right. So record it. Going, gone. All right. All right. Page 2. That's page 2 of the recipe. It's very good. I mean, it is, the potatoes are to die for, but pretty much you cook the potatoes until the liquid's almost gone, because the potatoes need to soak up the liquid. So you may want to take, I'm moving to the next screen. All right. You may want, and this is the final screen, you may want to, if you do chicken or potatoes, chicken or meatballs, you may want to move the chicken or meatballs out of the oven when they're done and then put this back in, right? So basically you would, once the chicken or meatballs are done, you take them out and then you put the tray back in with the potatoes and you keep cooking the potatoes until the liquid's almost done. All right. All right. Good night, WC. All right. There you go. It's a fabulous recipe. I would just making it for the Greek meatballs is to die for, but you can do it with chicken, and I've done it with chicken. You kind of make the mixture with the chicken, and then if you can, maybe baste the chicken a little, but you pretty much have to take the chicken out. Keep checking the chicken, take the chicken out when it's ready, because those potatoes are going to cook a good hour, probably. In my notes, I've got, and then we'll go after this. But in my notes, I said I made it with chicken. Just drench them and the potatoes in the mixture, then lay them on the potatoes. When they're ready, remove the chicken and let the potatoes cook until the juices dry up and the potatoes absorb it. That's a very grandma recipe. Let the potato when the chicken's ready, take it out. I use a thermometer to check chicken. So, that's the best way to do it. And just keep cooking the potatoes until most of the liquid's gone on the bottom. And then you're done. And 350, I think it says it's 350 or 400. 350, I think, is what he does, or 180 or something. If he does Celsius, he does 190. He does 190. That's a little strong. That's 375. I mean, you could do 375. That sounds a little hot to me, but you could. Yeah, 375 might work for chicken. Well, maybe for chicken, it's not too hot. Maybe it works. Otherwise, you're going to be doing it forever. You can try 375. Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys, there you go. Now you got your recipe. The potatoes alone, like I said, are delicious. But, look at his recipe. You might add a little bouillon too. You could always add a little bit of bouillon. If you got better than bouillon is the best bouillon out there. Like better than bouillon, fabulous. You could slice the potatoes thin. The only risk there is, well, you could actually. You could. You could julienne the potato. Is it julienne or whatever when you know, on the mandolin with the potatoes? You could do that. Yeah. I didn't think of that, but you could. It's not a terrible idea because it's no different than cooking any of those other potato dishes like that French potato dish with all the cream and everything. That's not a terrible idea, actually. The muffin tin, the only problem with the muffin tin is, you want the meat or the chicken cooking as part of it. That's the only thing. So like you could do a muffin tin with a piece of chicken on it. I mean, that might get a little harder. You do risk it turning to mush. I guess my concern about mush would be mandolin thin slices of potato. You might not cook as long, and they might not get but you never know. They might not cook as long as they might really soak up the juices. It's hard to say, it's hard to say whether that would help or hurt. The other thing I will tell you is Mom and my sister, and I think the test kitchen all agreed that you use, I should have told you this before, use Yukon Gold potatoes. Those are the best ones to use for this, for Greek potatoes overall. Yukon Gold. Yep. Yep. Careful with the salt. The beef was his recipe, I found the beef very salty. I'll say that. And the potatoes didn't have enough salt. So his recipe as written, the beef was too salty and the potatoes weren't salty enough. So keep that in mind. I said I took the meatballs out of the oven around 40 minutes and then cooked the Yukon Gold potatoes for another 10 to 20 at 400 to 425. Let them cook until all the liquid's gone and they start to get crusty on the bottom. Very good. A little heavy, but excellent, meaning the flavor was a little too intense. Oh, no. By heavy, I think I mean heavy. Knowing me, I probably mean heavy as in it might have been a bit too much. It ended up being a bit too much oil, but it was very good. Yep. I said, excellent. Use more bouillon this time. I used chicken, maybe add a touch of beef too. I undersalted the potatoes. Beef was very salty. So yeah, a little bit of bouillon. Watch the oil. Yep. Okay. All right. Anyway, we will see. I'll have to try this again sometime. You got me in the mood now to try this again. That recipe is from a Greek guy on TikTok. The origin overall is it's a Greek dish. I mean, Greek chicken. He was making Greek like meatballs. We say meatballs. They're not really meatballs, but meat patties in Greek. But that was the idea. So yeah. I mean, we tend to like I said, we like the Yukon Gold for this. But you never know. The other ones might. I mean, the thing is, you want a potato that can handle being cooked an hour and that's going to absorb juices. Some potatoes don't absorb. Some potatoes get, dry and fluffy inside, which I don't like. Some of them, they just don't absorb. And what you want this potato to turn into something that's dark yellow, like dark yellow brown color, because it's absorbed so much. I don't think I've got I'm going to look and see. I doubt I have a picture. I mean, I know I've got a picture, but I don't think. Let's see if my iPad can recognize a pan of my potatoes. Oh, that's interesting. Not Greek, but it is a Greek. Yeah, it's not finding my potatoes here. I'm typing in meal. Let me look here. See if I can find the potatoes. If not, I will find you online very quickly. I'm finding all my foods, just typing in meal. I'm like, not finding my Greek potatoes, but I'm finding everything else here. Oh my God. The pie. What pie was that? Greek potatoes. Where are my Greek potatoes? Πού είναι οι πατάτες? Οι πατάτες? Οι πατάτες? Όχι, δεν ξέρω. Hell, what is potato in Greek? No, patata. Patata? Okay, patata. Now I'm forgetting the gender too. It's patates, isn't it? But what's the gender? I'm trying to find a picture of Greek potatoes here to show you, because I know I've got it. but that's close. Otherwise, I'm going to Google it because I want to show you briefly. Okay, that's in Singapore. That's not going to be Greek potatoes. Probably too many of the meals like at my mom's. Oh, that's Easter. Oh, that's not bad though. I mean, this was Easter at my sister's, so we have like much Greek food, but you can see, of course, everything else too: the lamb, the Greek sausage, pasticcio, spanakopita, yeah, not tiropitas. No, I don't think so. But the potatoes, if you can see how the potatoes, they've changed color. Like I said, they become kind of yellowish brown and they absorb. You want them the darker, and they'll get even darker when they really absorb the liquid. They've absorbed the liquid from the lamb or the chicken or whatever you're cooking with them, and the bouillon and the salt, and they just absorb it. And you want these things to just change color because they get so good. But yeah, that was at my sister's. Yeah, I don't think I've got I know I've got another example. I'm looking at all my Greek food I've made, my pasticcio. And that's my pasticcio I would always make for Easter. I was responsible. It's a very good Greek dish. I make a very good one. Very, very good. Oh, this was funny. This was my dad and a Greek relative of ours making the lamb at my sister's house. She would cook a whole lamb on the back. Now that may be, I don't know if that's the whole or not, but typically they cook, I think it is the whole lamb because that's the head hanging down. They would cook a whole lamb in her backyard. And it was funny because the neighbors would laugh, but the neighbors would try to get invited because it was, fresh Greek lamb in the backyard, Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find, here's mom's cheesecake. So that's mom's cheesecake recipe. That's a freaking hell. And I like to make it super thick. So I make it so that the crust is crazy thick because that makes me very happy. That was a very good cheesecake recipe. Like I said, that's the one that's worth eating because it's so freaking good. Anyway, well, this may be all I can find right now. A little too hard to, yeah. Oh, the last little plate. That was Thanksgiving. Yeah. No Greek potatoes for Thanksgiving. Okay. Anyway, all right. Yes, Michael, William will not be giving you free money on TikTok. William is a scammer, but you all know that. So, all right. All right, guys. All right. I'm going to sign off, everybody. Thanks for joining. I know when we were talking, we got sucked into food and it just keeps going, All right, guys, I'm signing off now. All right. See the monthly subscribers tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. All right. See you guys. Have a good night. Boop. All righty, one sec here. Instagram, where are you? Oh, Instagram couldn't join us today. That's right. I forgot about that because Instagram got screwed up, or I screwed it up. Either way. All right. TikTok, so YouTube, etc.